We get ready for the Cars late model stock race at Florence on Saturday. And we caught up with one of the Cars Tour's newest owners, Jeff Burton, at Southern National. We'll talk to Jeff Burton next on Cars Tour Weekly. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cars Tour Weekly. I am joined yet again with Cars Tour Director Keeley Dubinsky. Thank you for joining me again.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And Jack did a really great job last week, but I am glad to have you back.
I am really interested to watch Jack's episode here. I will tell you that.
You haven't watched it yet?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
We've been so busy
No,
trying to
I
get
understand.
ready.
I understand. I won't take offense to it.
But he had a great time. He came back smiling, so it was good.
Okay, good. We did have a good time. Well, a lot of news has come out recently about the Cars Tour. First things first, the choose cone, the choose rule is coming to the Cars Tour. Tell us what went into that decision.
Normally how we do make those decisions is we take the, not like a majority vote of the competitors, but we pay attention to, some of them complain about everything and some of them complain about nothing. So I think that a lot of the teams were starting to come forward with, the guys were playing games, and trying to keep themselves into position when the restarts are coming out and things like that. So
was that something you noticed at, where were we just at? Southern National?
Yeah, for sure. And so, but Southern National, they started to get lazy with hiding it this year. So now it's really been brought to our attention. So we are going to implement the choose cone, and and especially for this weekend at Florence, that's going to shake things up quite a bit. So we're excited to shake up the competition always, but this one's going to be good.
Well, I did read that it ultimately was a decision made not just from the tower, but based off of drivers' feedback.
Yeah, and we do pay attention to what the drivers and teams say. Like I said, they'll complain about things that you really can't change. But this is something that we could do to make everybody comfortable.
What time the pit gate opens and stuff like that.
That's my favorite one.
I love having people like Jack and Keeley on the show because we can get this unfiltered, here's what really goes on in the Cars Tour discourse throughout the week.
Listen, it's a tell-all, a sit-down tell-all with Jack and I would probably be good.
We're going to get the views.
I'd be in trouble.
Well, also this week, we saw that somebody is going to be making an appearance at North Wilkesboro behind the wheel.
So a while back, I had a fan ask me, when are you going to race in the Cars Tour? And my response was, the question is, how many times am I going to race in the Cars Tour? So here it is. We're going to race in the Cars Tour at North Wilkesboro Speedway and some other places as we go along the way, but we're reestablishing KHI, and we're going to start with the Cars Tour and me driving the car. So I'm excited to have the 62 on the car. I'm excited to have kind of a replica of the original paint scheme, and we have all kinds of stories to tell with it, so this will be fun.
Yeah, I mean, there is no other words. That's just cool.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, the response was just incredible. People are really excited about that. Compared to last year, I know that you really got your finger on the pulse when it comes to what the drivers are feeling and thinking. How is it different going into North Wilkesboro this year versus last year?
I think we're obviously more prepared this year. But, I think that the drivers are really excited to get back to North Wilkesboro because we actually had a few comments, especially after, we released Kevin Racing. A lot of people said that this feels like the biggest late model stock race of all time. this event. So we're really excited, and hopefully we can keep it going for years to come, as long as this one goes well.
I mean, I don't think I can overstate like how huge that is going to be. Everyone loves Dale Jr. Everyone does. But Kevin Harvick is, in my opinion, going to bring just as much electricity. And I mean, it's just going to be an incredible event. And I know one of the guys that we will probably see up front for that race will be Chad McCumbee, who will be joining us here on Cars Tour Weekly right after this break.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Racing returns to the legendary Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, April 1st and 2nd, the 49th running of the Icebreaker. C-Pass Super Late models hit the track on Saturday the 1st. Then on Sunday, it's one of the area's oldest modified traditions, the Icebreaker, paying $10,000 to win for the ground-pounding modifieds. It's the 49th annual Icebreaker at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, and you can watch it all only on Racing America.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Welcome back, everybody. Our first guest of the evening is a member of the Cars Tour Touring 12. We got Chad McCumbee here. Chad, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we're headed into another race weekend coming up, and it's a track that you have a little bit of experience at. Tell us what your expectations are for this weekend at Florence.
Well, Florence is as home track as it comes for us. Robert Elliott spent a lot of time racing in Florence over the years, and we have a car that runs full time down there with Matt Cox. So, the Aaron's weekend and driving the Aaron's car is certainly a special weekend, and hopefully we can show up at our home track.
And Chad, it's no secret that you are in multiple different forms of racing. You'll race anything, any car that someone gives you, right? So do you feel like that is an advantage to you driving the late model stock, or do you think that kind of makes it difficult to be transitioning back and forth between driving styles?
I think maybe when I was a bit younger, it could have been a challenge, but I've been fortunate to do so much over the years that your brain eventually just kind of switches when you jump from car to car, whether I'm driving the Mustang GT4 or I'm, doing some testing with our Mazda team or when I'm in the late model. So, at this point, and at my age, I think that somehow it just clicks when you get in there and you get in every car a certain way and all of a sudden it's just different. So, I think that having those disciplines certainly has helped me over the years. But not sure how much of an advantage. I think if you turned us loose in the rain, maybe I would have a bit of an advantage.
Can we do that?
No.
Okay. So you mentioned Robert Elliott, who is your business partner, and he has had a lot of success at Florence, a former track champion. For the folks at home that don't know, tell us about your partnership with him.
Yeah, so Robert came to us the better part of a decade ago now, when we were participating at Myrtle Beach Speedway full time, and built a few motors for us. Really enjoyed being at the racetrack with us, and over the course of the last few years, he's retired and sold his business, and really is just trying to enjoy the sport he loves. So Sam and I are both the fortunate ones to get to do it with him. And we obviously relish that opportunity to be able to participate in what we love in the grassroots racing. The Cars Tour has certainly built a series that's second to none, and happy that we can be out there and do what we love.
And Chad, how similar is Myrtle Beach, or was Myrtle Beach, to Florence Motor Speedway?
It's actually not very similar. For whatever reason, I think it's just the type of pavement that's in this area. Maybe the racetracks have characteristics that are similar, but they really don't drive anything alike. We've been fortunate to have success early at Florence, and I think that just understanding maybe the tire wear scenario and tracks that are super abrasive is what's helped us there. But maybe it's something about the salt air. But we certainly enjoy going to racetracks around this area of the country, and we've always run good. When it always we go up to what's it called now? It was Goodyear, but
New River.
Yeah, New River, All American Speedway, Carteret. All these racetracks. Dillon seems to be a strength of ours. So. Maybe it's the local crowd. Maybe it's just being that close to home and knowing we're going to get a good night's rest that night. But we've certainly had success at those places. And Steve's done such a good job reviving Florence and taking what he has had at Myrtle Beach and really trying to build upon that. And he's really turned this place into a racy little racetrack, and has had, amazing car counts. Certainly, a lot of fans in the stands, and done a lot for that whole Timmonsville area.
It's so funny because I have heard some drivers talk about the similarities between Florence and Myrtle Beach, and then other drivers are like, no, there's no similarities. And it's funny how everyone has a little bit different of an opinion. I mentioned earlier that you are a member of the Touring 12, which is something specific to the Cars Tour that you don't see in anywhere else in late model racing. And you guys had a media day. Was it at NASCAR?
Yes.
Yeah. It was like a big production day. And I wanted to ask you, as a driver, what your thoughts were on that.
I thought it was great. I think that given the opportunity to do that, it's just adding value to our sport, value to our series. I think that, it was awesome that Keeley and Jack were able to put that together and have that as something we can use as a resource moving forward. There was a few things that I hadn't done before, a couple things that were pretty standard, but I'm sure that there was some great content that these guys will be able to use throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean, it just looked like a really professional, just something you don't normally see in short track racing. So sounds like everyone's going to have some really good content to push out throughout the year. Use it to advertise this series and advertise drivers like Chad. And Chad, we really appreciate you joining us today, and we look forward to seeing all that good content and following along at Florence.
All right, thanks so much. Hopefully we'll have a good run in our Aaron's car this week, and have a good hometown showing.
Yep, that would be perfect, right? The Aaron's car win the Aaron's race. I love when that happens.
Me too.
When we come back, we will talk to one of the series' new owners, Jeff Burton.
The cars and stars of ARCA Menard Series East return to Five Flags Speedway for the Pensacola 200, Saturday, March 25th. The ARCA Menard Series East season opener will see some of the best young stars in motorsports battle it out at one of the most prestigious tracks in the country. Joining ARCA Menard Series East will be the Modifieds of Mayhem Tour. Also join us Friday night for Pro Truck, Here Stock, and Crown Stock features. For discounted tickets and info, check out FiveFlagsSpeedway.com. See the ARCA Menard Series East season opener at Five Flags Speedway, Saturday, March 25th.
Racing returns to the legendary Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, April 1st and 2nd, the 49th running of the Icebreaker. C-Pass Super Late models hit the track on Saturday the 1st. Then on Sunday, it's one of the area's oldest modified traditions, the Icebreaker, paying $10,000 to win for the ground-pounding modifieds. It's the 49th annual Icebreaker at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, and you can watch it all only on Racing America.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Well, as most of you know, the Cars Tour has a new ownership group in 2023 consisting of Dale Jr., Justin Marks, Kevin Harvick, and Jeff Burton. And Boo Carlisle talked to Jeff to hear his outlook for the Cars Tour moving forward.
We caught up with Jeff Burton, one of the new owners of the Cars Tour. So, Jeff, what do you think so far today?
Well, it's for me, it's a ton of excitement. I've been texting Justin and Kevin and Junior. All of us are really excited coming in this morning to see all the cars, which I was here yesterday, but seeing all the cars, knowing they're going to go on track today. There's a lot of cars here, both in the pros and in the late model stock cars. And what's fun is the amount of quality competition. I mean, these are going to be really difficult races to win. There's a lot of enthusiasm and excitement through the garage, and I love being at a racetrack. I'm 55. I've been going to racetracks since I was 7, and still like it as much today as I did then.
Well, Jeff, we know that Dale has showed interest in running more races this year, and Kevin, is there a chance that none whatsoever?
No, I don't know why, but I'm just the kind of person that I do what I'm doing. I'm 100% in it, and then I move on. And I can't. My vision of driving a race car has as much to do with the preparation, all the work that goes into it before you get in the race car. To me, that's part of what racing is about. And I don't want to do that. I'd rather work doing something else. I got a lot going on, obviously, with this, with the Drivers' Council, with NBC, and that would just add something else to me. And it's not something that would be rewarding to me. I know that sounds crazy. As much as I race, people are like, I don't understand. Like, why don't you want to race? And I think it's because I just moved on, and I absolutely loved driving a race car, but it wasn't the actual driving part of it. It was all the things that you had to do in order to have the privilege to drive a race car. And those things just don't mean as much to me anymore. So you won't see me in a race car. If you do, something crazy's happened, but I don't have any plans.
Well, thank you for what you've done for helping preserve the Cars Tour and looking for big things in 2023.
Well, we're excited about it. We think we got great competitors. It's a great series already. Jack and his team have done an incredible job. We hope to add to it and make it better. We didn't get into this for a year or two. We got into it to make it good long term, and we feel like we can do it, and we're excited about it.
Okay, so Jeff says that he's not going to get back behind the wheel in this series. But we know that Kevin Harvick is. And it's just great to see how involved these new owners have been. Because, I feel like people kind of had some hesitations like, okay, these NASCAR guys are coming in. What's this really going to be like? But I have just been so pleasantly surprised. I don't want to say surprised. I've just been very impressed with their involvement and how involved they've been.
Yeah, I think having Jeff at the track with us at Southern National was really big because for all of us, we have felt super supported. Because it's one thing to talk to them about how the series is going to go and come up with different ideas, but to have Jeff there and him, be by our sides through all of it. He was in the tower with me, he was going places with Jack. And so it was really nice. So we definitely feel super supported. And then we have Kevin Harvick racing North Wilkesboro with us. So that's crazy.
Yeah, how much more supportive can you get there?
Right. So I think that we expected Dale to participate a little bit just because, him running last year. But to see these other new owners becoming really invested and involved is something that's really cool. And I think the drivers too felt extra supported as well. And they were all like, Jeff went around and talked to almost every single one of them. So it was a good start to the year.
I wanted to ask because I truly feel like the other three would have been at the track had they not had, obligations to be at the NASCAR race. And I wanted to hear, and I haven't gotten a chance to ask any of the drivers because I think Jeff spoke in the drivers meeting. And, what did it feel like to them? Was it, from your perspective, did you think it was all well received by the drivers?
Very, very well received because Jeff is really good with talking to drivers and, Jeff is just a really great speaker in general, which we all know that. But I could see the looks on their faces that it was received better than we had expected. It was kind of like almost like a sigh of relief, if that makes sense, that they were just, really looking forward to the future. And then Jeff made sure that he reiterated the fact that we're not going to reinvent the wheel here. We're not going to change. And so they were really happy.
That's good. I think that, of course, he understands as a driver, but he has kind of recently been back in short track racing with his son Harrison racing. And so, it's not like you have these suits coming in that are just like, they all have roots in this stuff, and they obviously have such a passion for it. It didn't take any time at all for Kevin to get back behind the wheel.
No.
They obviously they love it. I think it's so genuine, and the drivers, it sounds like, can really pick up on that. But they do bring, like with the media day, when we were talking to Chad, they bring this extra level that is going to, hopefully, and I think so, bring the series to another level where these drivers are going to have a bigger platform where they can hopefully grow their own platform, which helps them achieve wherever they want to go in the sport. If that's being a lifetime Cars Tour driver or moving up through the stock car ranks up to NASCAR, having a solid foundation in short track racing and building partnerships, there is where that starts. If you're not building any partnerships in short track racing, then you have no one to help you get to NASCAR. So the fact that they are focusing, it seems already, on giving these drivers a platform to, they got to do the work themselves, but they're giving them a platform to have a chance at building those partnerships.
Well, I think that, a lot of it is that they're giving, these new owners are giving more resources, but not just anything tangible. Like they're there for these drivers to really lean on and take advice from someone who's already been up through it.
Yeah. And it's got to be inspiring to see, you're exactly right, to see them. They've done it. They've come up through the ranks. They've done it themselves, and now they're here to help and to pay it forward. So just a great mix. And then we got the short trackers like you and Jack that are just making sure, like,
that looks right.
We're still a bunch of good old boys.
Well, I will always be a little good old boy. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, when we come back, we will preview this weekend's race at Florence.
Racing returns to the legendary Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, April 1st and 2nd, the 49th running of the Icebreaker. C-Pass Super Late Models hit the track on Saturday the 1st. Then on Sunday, it's one of the area's oldest modified traditions, the Icebreaker, paying $10,000 to win for the ground-pounding modifieds. It's the 49th annual Icebreaker at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, and you can watch it all only on Racing America.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials. Tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Get up on your feet, race fans.
Can you believe it? Right now, racing, in my opinion, is as healthy as it's been in the last 15 to 20 years.
Just wanting to make that first lap.
Welcome back, everybody. The late model stocks are headed to Florence this weekend, and I'm looking at the entry list here. 26 cars. Keeley, who are some of the standouts for this event?
I think I would have to go with obviously Chad McCumbee, right? Because that
Solid.
team has that. That's a safe guess, right? Another one that I think we got to keep an eye on is Zach Miracle. He was our runner-up for Rookie of the Year in 2022. A lot of experience at that track. Really, it's where he really began racing, to my understanding. I could be wrong on that. And then obviously Deke's going to be strong too because he's just coming off of his win, and Deke is pretty much good everywhere he goes, right? Veteran of the series. But another one that I just have a feeling about is Connor Hall.
Oh.
Connor Hall is very hungry for wins, but it's more so after Southern National, and he's good with tire wear. That the type of driving style that track produces just kind of has Connor written all over it. So I'm thinking that he might be up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, zooming out, looking at the whole schedule, what makes Florence so special to the Cars Tour?
I think that a lot, I like to go down to South Carolina. We all like to go down to South Carolina. We are, losing tracks left and right, which is no secret. So it's really important that we are, touring through North Carolina and South Carolina and Virginia. And Steve Zacharias, Jacqueline Zacharias there, and it's a whole family operation there. So that's kind of the same wavelength that Jack and I are on. So it's just really nice to get down there and
more good
work
old
with
boys.
them. Yes, more good old boys. See, look at that.
It's just a perfect fit.
It is.
Well, special thanks to Keeley Dubinsky for joining me here today. And we also want to thank Chad McCumbee for joining us on the show. And remember that replays of the show and more can be found on racingamerica.tv. And be sure to check out our Racing America 24/7 channel, free on connected devices. And remember, racingamerica.com and all of our social channels will have you covered for any breaking news from Florence this weekend, and really any of the action.
All of it.
Yeah,
all of it.
All across America. I'm Jess Ballard. Thanks again for joining us, and we will see you back next week for Cars Tour Weekly.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
The cars and stars of ARCA Menard Series East return to Five Flags Speedway for the Pensacola 200, Saturday, March 25th. The ARCA Menard Series East season opener will see some of the best young stars in motorsports battle it out at one of the most prestigious tracks in the country. Joining ARCA Menard Series East will be the Modifieds of Mayhem Tour. Also join us Friday night for Pro Truck, Gear Stock, and Crown Stock features. For discounted tickets and info, check out FiveFlagsSpeedway.com. See the ARCA Menard Series East season opener at Five Flags Speedway, Saturday, March 25th.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Oh my God.
And you can watch it all only